Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Payne. Welcome to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. Today we're going to be covering some news on Catheon Gaming. They actually just released a new NFT marketplace built for blockchain gamers, and this is pretty exciting news. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the press release, and then we're actually going to go right over, take a look at Catheon, see what they're doing, take a look at this marketplace, and kind of just give you guys a quick little lowdown. So it's going to be a bit different from just a news video because we're actually doing a deep dive into the product that they released. Now, who is Catheon Gaming? They're ranked as the #1 blockchain emerging giant in the 2022 KPMG and HSBC Emerging Giants in Asia Pacific report. So basically, there was another company that just said these guys are going to be one of the biggest, or they're potentially one of the biggest of this year, within a certain group of criteria. So it doesn't necessarily mean they are the biggest. It's interesting how they worded that. But they're pleased to announce the official launch of the Catheon Storefront, which is an NFT marketplace built specifically for blockchain gamers. Okay, great. How? So it talks about how the marketplace, which will be part of the upcoming Catheon Gaming Center, it's going to be a single source to locate, buy, and sell NFTs that have real utility in games. And basically there's a couple key features. They're talking about how all assets, whether they're sold as primary sale from Catheon or listed on secondary, can be purchased through the store. Functionality for users can be paid with a credit card for all direct purchases, so that's really convenient. And it's going to be multi-chain, supporting Solana, and Ethereum, and other virtual machine compatible chains. And then the Catheon token will be used for purchases once it's live. And it even shows you can go right over it and take a look at it now, which we will. But just kind of going further along in this information, talks about how NFTs on the marketplace will include those from Catheon's extensive catalog of blockchain games. Basically, there's 28 high-quality games across 8 different genres right now, and they're going to be adding more. And it's like, we've got Elixir, we've got all the new NFT gaming consoles, we've got Karmaverse, we've got Gala Games. It's like, holy crap, we're seeing so many of these like style type gaming platforms. It's going to be really interesting to see them kind of all duke it out and see who lasts, or maybe we're just going to have all these different options because they're all so successful. It's going to be hard to say. I'm kind of curious, what do you guys think? Are you starting to get a little overwhelmed with all the different platforms and all the different games, or are you just super excited to see this space evolving at lightning speed? Because that's where I'm at. Now they talk about how this is part of their broader initiative, and they're building this whole Catheon ecosystem, which is rebranding the Chicks token to Catheon to function as their ecosystem token. It's going to be the first of its kind on Solana and Polygon networks, with the entire Catheon Gaming brand and portfolio behind it. It's going to be the most developed ecosystem token of its kind in terms of utility and the breadth of ecosystem backing it, which is really cool. So there is a quote here from William Wu, which is founder and co-CEO of Catheon Gaming. We are very excited to be launching the NFT Storefront as part of our broader ecosystem initiative. It's essentially a section of the gaming center which aims to reduce friction for gamers to interact with the blockchain across their portfolio and partnered games. And they see this as an essential step to drive the broader adoption of blockchain gaming. Now, unlike Elixir, which it's like a launcher platform, this is kind of similar in a sense, but you're doing it through the website, and games can partner with them, right? So there's going to be some limitations there, but it is slightly different from some of the other options, and I think that's why they're saying it's going to be, the breadth of this or the scope of this is going to be unique, because they're kind of doing a lot of the other things these other platforms are, but they're also adding in a couple innovative things. It also talks a little bit about the company. They're based in Asia Pacific, one of the world's fastest growing integrated blockchain gaming and entertainment companies. They're an end-to-end platform providing world-class technical publishing and partnership capabilities for the world's leading gaming studios, companies, and brands seeking to navigate their path into Web3. So once again, it's like, hey, you're a game development company, come work with us. We'll help bring you into Web3. We'll help, kind of like we've seen with Double Jump, Tokyo. That's what they do. They're working with Sega right now for a trading card game. So a lot of these game development companies are now outsourcing or hiring on other companies to help them with the Web3 aspect. Catheon Gaming kind of wants to be that. So just kind of moving along, let's take a look at the Catheon ecosystem. So it's an interconnected and in-depth gaming ecosystem. Talks about how their vision is to revolutionize the way people play, live, and earn. There's 4 pillars of their ecosystem. There's development and publishing, right? So helping game development companies, bringing them to market, almost like acting as an incubation, I guess you could say. There's their gaming center, which is distribution and marketplace platform. There's their labs, which is consulting and advisory, so they want to help with game projects. And then, of course, there's their metaverse, which is unifying and interoperability hub, like how can these assets work between all these different games, which I think is something that seems very difficult to tackle right now, but we know it's going to be coming eventually. And one more thing, the token, right? So there's a universal governance and utility token that underpins the entire gaming ecosystem and everything that these guys plan on doing, right? So you're going to use Catheon to do all the purchases on the marketplace and yada, 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 etc., which makes sense. And there's also something interesting called the Black Pass. I thought this was cool. It's a limited edition NFT for integral members of the ecosystem. There's only 300 passes released at launch. It's probably going to get pretty expensive. You get 20% discount off the token, and there's exclusive game access and utilities to be announced with it. So this is kind of like their OG pass, but only 300. So going to be curious to see what happens to the price on those. Just moving along, kind of passing the roadmap there quickly, they do talk about how they have an unparalleled vision for connectivity, right? So they want to bring games and all this stuff together. But what I do like is how they talk about games have short life cycles and are tied to each other on a unified platform. Will be able to help this. So let's say a game only has a shelf life of 2 years. If there's interoperability between the assets in that game and another title being worked on, are we going to lose as much value in those NFTs when the shelf life of that game moves on? So it's kind of cool that they're tackling that. And that's the first time I've heard a company openly say, hey, yeah, games have shelf life and we need to address this in the NFT gaming space, because otherwise we're all just racing to the bottom, eventually. It's got to take an amazing game to really last decades or more. And there's only really a handful of titles you can think of that have even done that in Web 2, and they're the most popular in the world, like World of Warcraft, Roblox, Fortnite, Minecraft, but you could probably list them on two hands. Most other games are on, come and go within a year, 2 years, 5 years. So I like that they're tackling this. And then, of course, here's kind of just a preview of some of the different games, that they're already working with and partners, right? So the evolution of blockchain gaming industry is just getting started, and they're right. So just kind of moving along to the next section, here's the storefront. So this is the thing that they literally just released, right? So being able to come in here early is really cool. I'm glad I can show you guys this. So here's kind of the home. There's direct purchase. So this is if you want to buy something directly from their marketplace. You can see here's their Black Pass. Don't have those available yet. You can see some of them are sold out. You can go to mints to get different ones. So if we want to get the Soul Chicks loot box, there's the Angry Mel's player banner. I like this, how it's organized. So it can kind of show you Prajna Gate. It's the world's first blockchain linked horror FPS shooter powered by Unreal Engine 5. Kind of reminds me of Bornless a little bit. Moving this down. Star End's Metaverse. Like, it's really clean how they have this organized. Neo Tokyo Conception as well. Beta Pass. So, moving along to, you can see the secondary marketplace. Here's where, your general OpenSea type marketplace. I think the pictures are a little too big. I'd rather them smaller, so I don't have to scroll forever to see everything. But I like this, right? You can kind of search through it, go through, find everything you need. And then there is another section for listing your game, right? So you have a project, you want to be listed on Catheon Gaming, you just come here and insert your information. Maybe you can start working with them. So still in the infancy stages. They did just launch it. I mean, we're really kind of seeing OpenSea right now lose the monopoly on the NFT marketplace. There's so many other companies that are doing it now on different networks. This is just another kind of competitor in a way, but these guys are focusing on gaming. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Elixir because they're talking about advising for games, but also, how they're an incubator. They're going to be doing all these different aspects, right? Like they talk about these 4 pillars, right? The metaverse, the gaming center, their advisory aspect, development, publishing, right? And how they want to help with all these different areas. This is what we want to see, right? And I like that they're talking about the issue that games have certain shelf lives and ways that they might be able to solve that. So I'm curious, like I said, are you guys really excited about seeing all these new development, new companies, new platforms coming out, developing all these games? Are you feeling like you're getting a little bit overwhelmed? It's hard to track them. Because one thing I will mention is that's what we're here to help you guys with. right? We want to share all this great news and all this great content, lead you in the right directions the best that we can. Of course, nothing we say should be taken as financial advice. You guys need to do your own research, but this space just moves so fast, it can seem impossible to keep up with everything. And we have an entire research and gaming division dedicated to that in our Games Guild so that we don't miss really cool stuff like this. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with all the great play to earn content we have coming out for you guys on a consistent basis. We want to be the largest database of information as far as all these different titles, games, play to earn news goes on all of the internet, right? So we don't want to just cover 5 titles. You know, probably within a year now, we'll have more than 200-300 projects featured on our channel. So yeah, please make sure you subscribe. Also hit the like button so that it helps the YouTube algorithm show this content to more people who are interested in this space, because as we know, the more people that get exposed to Web3, the better it helps all of us. And last but not least, hit that bell notification to stay up to date to all the great content we have coming for you guys on a consistent basis. Okay, till next time, cheers. Don't forget about our 1,000 subscriber giveaway where you can win $200, and if you need more information, be sure to join us on our Discord. See you there.